Welcome guys. We're going to give this one a go that we started in class. I want to go over it again, so there's a recording of it for a start. And also just to see whether I can explain it a bit better than I probably was in class. Alright, so first thing you notice is that we've got the denominator in this one, x plus 1. So we can't use, well, you should realise that x cannot equal minus 1. We can't divide by 0, despite what Baden keeps telling everyone. So we have to make sure that x can't equal minus 1. Okay, so all we're going to do is get that x plus 1 off the bottom of the fraction, off the denominator. We talked about how we do that, and okay, so we've got 1 over x plus 1, and we decided we're going to multiply it. Well, we wanted to multiply it by x plus 1. Now the problem with that is that if you multiply it by x plus 1, okay, you can do that. That will work. It will get rid of the denominator of x plus 1 and it'll be lovely. And we'll all be very happy and we can go home and have a quiet rest and go to bed. But, unfortunately, you could put any number in there, okay? X can be any number. Just get rid of the multiplication sign. X can be any number. So if I actually had on there, for instance, I could sub in 4 for x. So 4 plus 1 would give me 5. Okay? And that's lovely. That works. And it's all good. Okay? And I'd be multiplying by 5 on both sides and everything would be happy. The only problem is, if I had minus 4 instead, then I'd have minus 4 plus 1 is minus 3. And I'd be multiplying by a negative number. So x could end up, well, that bracket could end up being a negative. Now, if that bracket is a negative, and I'm multiplying both sides by it, I've got it on both sides. If I do that, then unfortunately, that would have to change directions. If you multiply by a negative number, it has to change directions. We don't want to do that. That might make things bad. We don't like bad, we like good. So instead of doing that, what we're actually going to do is we're not going to multiply by x plus 1, we're going to multiply by x plus 1 squared. Now, if you put any number for x in there, if I put my minus 4, if I put my positive 4, it doesn't matter, because whatever's in the bracket is going to be squared. Anything squared becomes positive. Okay? That will make us very happy. Okay? So basically, that's why we're using the squared, even though the x plus 1 on its own would potentially work, but it would be very bad. So we use the squared. If that makes sense, great. If it doesn't, well. Alright. So the next step is we just multiply that through. So we're going to end up with x plus 1 on the left hand side, because those will cancel each other out. One of them will cancel out that one, so you end up with only the 1x plus 1. And we'll leave that as 2 outside of x plus 1 squared at the moment. Cool. Everyone happy with that thus far? Good. So we're now going to get the x plus 1 over to the other side, because you know how we like ax squared plus bx plus c equals or greater than or equal to or whatever, 0. So if we do that, we end up with 0 greater than or equal to 2 times x plus 1 squared minus x plus 1. Cool. So I've just brought it over to the other side of the thing. You'll notice I put it there in brackets because I don't want to change the signs at the moment, because if any of you are paying attention, you should have noticed that we have a common factor. Okay, so we're going to go back and we're going to take a common factor out. So we've got 0, that 2x plus 1. Okay. Actually, no, I'm going to redo that because, well, I want to. I'll make your life easier. I'm going to pull out the common factor. Okay, so x plus 1. Okay, and that, I'll do a square bracket, 2x plus 1. So that's the common factor out of that, the left-hand side there, and then minus 1. Okay, does that make sense? That's the common factor pulled out. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to scroll down a bit and we'll expand. Sorry, we won't expand. We'll then, we'll expand that right-hand bracket. So still 0 greater than or x plus 1, 2x plus 1. Awesome. Everyone happy with that thus far? So what all we've done is we've got the x plus 1 off the bottom of the fraction, we've found a common factor of x plus 1 in there, and now we've just factorised it, so we've got that. Now we can find the roots, or, if you want, the x-intercept. So we're looking at it. Now, once again, you can sketch the parabola. You can do that, and you can work it out, but what we're going to do is we need to get, okay, what are the roots? So we've got 0 equals x plus 1, 2x plus 1. So what can x equal? X will obviously equal minus 1, and what's the other one that will equal? Now, this is one that you guys will probably trip yourself up on, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into my red bit, and I'm actually going to do it. So what we've got, x plus 1 equals 0, which is where we got the x minus 1. I'm just going to delete that for a second, it's a bit messy. We've got the x plus 1 equals 0, so we'll do that first bracket first. X plus 1 equals 0. That was interesting. I'll go back to the pen. Therefore, x equals minus 1. So that's the methodology we're using. So let's do it on the other side. 2x plus 1 equals 0. Okay, so 2x equals minus 1. Therefore, x equals minus 1 on 2. So our 2 points are minus a half and minus 1. Just put big dots there. I'll try and put big dots there. There we go. Okay, and so your parabola would look something like that. Okay. Now, thinking about it, which ones are you going to look for? Well, we had 0 is greater than x plus 1, 2x plus 1. The other way of looking at that is x plus 1, 2x plus 1 is less than 0. So we are actually looking at the points at which it is less than 0, which is down here. And the way we write that is minus 1. Am I doing the right question? Yes, I am. Minus 1 x. Oh god, that's ugly as sin. Let me just redo that so that it's a bit neater. Minus 1 is less than x, which is less than or equal to minus a half. Now you may have noticed I said minus 1 is less than x, but I drew less than or equal to. I want you guys to think back, and I'll give you approximately 10 seconds to think back and think why I didn't say less than or equal to, even though I've drawn it, because I'm now going to rub it out, because it's not right. I'm going to rub it out. There we go. Okay, that's the correct thing. Minus 1 is less than x, which is less than or equal to minus a half. The question is, why? I'll give you some thinking music. No, that's long enough. What I want you to think about is what we set up the top here. We have a fraction with the denominator of x plus 1. Therefore, x cannot equal minus 1, which means that even though it goes through that point, it cannot equal it. So, in fact, where I've got the dot there, that would actually be a big circle. Okay, that would actually be a discontinuity, Catherine. Therefore, I can take my pen off the page. Alright, so I hope that helps. Gone for 9 minutes and 27 seconds, so it's not too bad. We'll have a look at that. If you've got any questions, just hit me over the back of the head.